How did you get started with ADAO?
Shortly after Linda began ADAO, a friend of mine, Dr. Barry Castleman, called me and told me that Linda was forming the organization and was looking for a veterans representative. He gave me Linda's phone number and asked that I just give her a call. And I gave Linda a call that night, and I've been with ADAO ever since.
How have you seen the organization mature since you got started?
We're all getting old very quick. The work is nonstop, and for every fire we put out, 3 or 4 more new fires begin, and it's just never ending. Fighting asbestos there's new twists and turns every single day.
What do you think this bill that was presented today has for an opportunity to get us closer to banning asbestos?
We have never, as long as I've been with ADAO, been closer to a ban than this bill might bring us. Senators Boxer and Marquee have really improved on the Vitter-Udall bill. The Vitter-Udall bill is a non-starter. There's really nothing good about it. There's not even the mention of the word asbestos in the Vitter-Udall bill. There's not much for enforcement there, and the Boxer-Marquee bill will review many, many, many more chemicals than the Vitter-Udall bill. There is a chance that asbestos could be eventually banned with the Boxer-Marquee bill.
Where do you think you'll get the greatest support on that bill?
It's really in the formative stages right now, so that's really hard to say. We're going to work the halls, and we're going to work both sides of the aisle. We're going to spread the word. We're going to let the senators know exactly what the differences are, and that we just hope that in good conscience we'll bring more people around to voting on the right bill.
What about working with ADAO gives you the greatest gratification?
I think what brings me the greatest gratification is what I can do to help Linda. Linda is the real heart of the organization, but Linda can't really do it all. It's impossible. And we have different volunteers to do different things, but there are just so many technical things on a day-to-day basis that you really have to stay on top of. Planning conferences, planning meetings, congressional meetings. I mean, the list goes on and on.
When you saw her speaking today with Senator Boxer and Erin Brockovich and stuff, how did that make you feel?
Very proud, very proud. It's what we live for. We don't get a lot of satisfaction because the opposition to ban asbestos really is large in the industry. And it's opportunities like this where you see your work in action. It's gratifying. It's quite gratifying.
What do you hope for the future of this organization?
Well, it's wishful thinking, but my greatest hope would be that there would be no need for an ADAO, that they would finally ban asbestos, that they'd find a cure for mesothelioma, and the government would actually put an educational program in effect to warn the tens and tens and tens of thousands of folks that still have asbestos in their homes, their schools, their buildings. There's asbestos under this Capitol right here. But that's wishful thinking.
How does ADAO, asbestos, and Veterans Affairs come together?
Well, veterans are a special group, especially the United States Navy, because there was an awful lot of asbestos used aboard ships. So they're a lot more vulnerable, but I wouldn't even single out the veterans because the firefighters are another big group that are unfortunately way too exposed to asbestos, and they never know when they go into a building whether it contains asbestos or not. The simple homeowner doing renovations, pulling up tiles, taking down a drop ceiling, they're exposing themselves to asbestos and having a clue. What
else would you like the world to know about the core work of ADAO? What are we missing in our message?
That's a good question, because we really go out of our way to spread the word in a way that nobody can misunderstand what we do. We're a victims advocacy group. Our website tells it all. We try to cover everything. We try to spread the word about ongoing asbestos issues. We have several forums for folks with asbestos-related disease to share stories. And we share, unfortunately, the stories of those we lose every single day from asbestos-caused diseases.
How has getting to know some of these asbestos victims affected your own life?
Wow, greatly. That is a very tough question to answer, because I've never been affected by an asbestos-related disease, and I don't even know anybody personally. I don't have any personal friends or family members, but in a way I do, because you can't help but to get very, very close and personal with some of these folks when you hear their stories, when you communicate back and forth. And it's not just in the United States, it's around the world. I know more people in more countries since I've been in ADAO than I've known in my 65 years of life.